There's an Excel function which quietly does what loops or helper functions do, and it's called reduce. In this video, we'll break down what reduce actually does, starting with the basics, followed by a simple, clear example. And if you want to dive in even deeper, I have linked a video in the description or even at the end of this one that builds perfectly on what you learn here. But before we jump in, here is the real question. What does reduce actually do? It takes an array and reduces it by repeatedly applying a function to each value until one result remains. Sounds a bit abstract? Let's make it concrete with examples. So let's first look at how this function works. Here is a list of production targets for each month. Over the years, this company has realized that in months where the target is more than or equal to 2500, there are increased chances of machine breakdown. That puts the entire month's production at risk. Therefore, we want to calculate the sum of production targets for all the months where the target is more than or equal to 2500. Let's write the reduce function. The first parameter is initial value. This will be a 0 as we want to start from a 0 value and add the targets of months fulfilling the criteria. The next parameter is array. The array is the target values for all the months. The final parameter is function. We will define a lambda here. If you're unfamiliar with lambda, then you can refer my playlist on lambda. The link is in the description. We will define two parameters here. The first one is total, where we will add the values, and the next one is row, which will be the value of production target one row at a time. Finally, the calculation. This will be total plus, so that we keep adding to the total value, followed by an if condition, where we will check if that month's target is greater than equal to 2500. If the condition is met, then we will add the row value, else we will add 0 to the total. That's it, close the brackets, and we get the value as 10,600. If I add all the values which are more than or equal to 2500, then we indeed get the total as 10,600. So those are the basics. Let's look at another example. Here we will use the reduce function to clean junk characters. Here we have sample results from a survey where people had named their top 3 fruits. Some of them have numbered them, some have used alphabets to order them, and others have just written their names. So let's bring in consistency by just leaving the names. Let's start with reduce. Initial value is the list of fruits in the cell A2. Array is the next parameter. We will define all the characters that we want to remove. Let's write all these characters in a pair of double quotes. Since this is an array, I have included them in a pair of curly brackets. Let's write the lambda now. I'm going to define two parameters, fruits, junk chars. Fruits will map to A2 and junk chars will map to the array. And then for the calculation, I will use substitute. For the text, we can use the parameter fruits. For the old text, we will refer to junk chars, which is the array. And the new text is an empty string. Close the bracket for substitute, lambda, and reduce. And we get the result. To get rid of additional space, we can use the trim function. And that's it. We have cleaned the sentences of unwanted characters. So that's it for this video. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. And if you'd like to learn more about Excel and Power BI, consider subscribing our channel, Analytics Success. Thanks for watching.